Yeah, I was. I saw like the videos happening live, but I didn't watch them because I was at work.
So do you know who the new president is?
I've heard his name, but I can't remember it. I know that somebody compared him to Toby Flenderson on Twitter, so that's all I know about him.
Okay. His name is Jeff Merns, and he's formerly of Northern Kentucky University. Do you have any hopes for his presidency of what he might do or change at Ball State?
Yeah, I've heard that the people at Northern Kentucky really liked him, so that's definitely positive. And I don't know about like any of his specific policies or his education ideology or however like presidents run schools, but I do think that he will be good, probably better than no president. So I mean, I feel like we should give him a chance.
What issues do you care about on Ball State's campus?
Something that kind of concerns me is we have like a really big lack of student diversity. I think I saw a statistic that said that Brigham Young University actually has more ethnic diversity than Ball State does, so I think that's a pretty big issue, and I would like to see more of that. I don't really know what control the president would have over that, but if he is able to change that or fix it, I think it'd be really great if he could.
One of his policies he talked about is that he wants to get out and meet the students, learn about Ball State, educate himself on what matters to students. How do you feel about that very open approach?
Oh, I think that's wonderful. I mean, like, what better way to figure out what the students want than by actually talking to the students, so I definitely approve of that.
Okay. Are you involved in any clubs or organizations on campus?
Yeah, I'm a member of the Honors College, and I also am part of the debate team.
Okay. Is there any like funding concerns that you have, or any programs you think the president should pay more attention to, maybe devote more emphasis on at the university?
I don't really know about that. I definitely think that we give like too much funding to athletics, especially when, you know, there's so many more important things like the humanities and the arts that also deserve attention, but, you know, I'm a little bit biased because those are my passions, so, you know, just keep a decent budget.
Has the lack of diversity, or I'm sorry, transparency between the last administration concerned you at all? Because there was that confidentiality agreement with Paul Ferguson and the board.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the students and the faculty have a right to know what went on there, just so they can be aware of the type of school they are going to and the administration that was running it.
So what do you think can be improved as far as transparency between the administration and students?
Honestly, I would like a written statement from the Board of Trustees, maybe detailing why Ferguson had to leave, and I know that like we have the Indiana open door laws and stuff like that, and I think that those should also definitely be applied more on campus, so we could have more knowledge of what's going on inside the board meetings and the inner workings of the school board.
Do you think that the average student cares about transparency? There seems to be a very vocal group of students who want more transparency, but do you think that is a widespread issue, or is it just the vocal few?
I think that for really big issues, especially why Ferguson left, a lot of students care. Probably for smaller issues, not your average students going to, but definitely for the big ones, I think that there should definitely be transparency because it matters to a lot of people.
And what are the small steps that Ball State can take to be transparent in just their everyday actions? Do you think there should be maybe a written communication, email sent from the board to students letting them know what they're doing, what they're up to, or do you think there should be more open access for students to be able to sit in on these administration decisions?
I mean, I think either of those options would probably be really good, either sitting in the meetings or just, you know, sending out meeting minutes or a summary of meetings. Just like pretty much anything to increase transparency, I think would be a step in the right direction, but I'm not an expert, so.
So, you've been at Ball State for 2 years then? What do you think has happened here during your time that could be improved upon, whether it be maybe meal plans, dining, housing, the funding for the arts like you mentioned? What do you think could have changed your experience for the better?
Definitely like the whole transparency about Ferguson's resignation. That was kind of a major hiccup, I thought, and so I think something like that. Nothing I can really think of more off the top of my head. Like a really small thing, I wish the buses would run on the weekends, but that's small, so.
Do you think other students share your same concern about maybe the smaller stuff, like buses running on the weekends? And do you think the new president could do anything to understand and listen to these student concerns and maybe make some changes?
Yeah, I remember that last year somebody sent out a survey asking about like what is one thing that you wish you could change on campus, and it was just a bunch of little things like healthier meal plans, like more like reasonable use of meal swipes, buses running on weekends, more access for people with disabilities, and I just wanted to click everything, but you could only click one thing. And I talked to like some of my friends and they had the same issue, so I definitely think that people are concerned about like little things, but sometimes you have to become aware of those things to be concerned about them.
So overall, it sounds like you're very hopeful for this president.
Yeah, I mean, I see no reason not to be. Like, I heard that like his former students really liked him, so I don't see any reason why we couldn't give him a chance.
Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for talking to me today.
Yeah, you're welcome.